The last thing anyone saw of her was a blur of red lights and a crypto wallet draining in real time. They said she built the future of freedom. They were wrong. She built the future of control, and then vanished before anyone could chain her to it. Before the disappearance, before the panic, before the $12 million vanished into a black hole of transactions, her name was Alina Voss, 29 years old, brilliant, ruthless, untraceable. The media called her the mother of modern decentralization. She called herself a realist. Her company, Novachain, promised to tokenize freedom. No governments, no middlemen, no surveillance, freedom, in exchange for a monthly subscription fee. It started as an idea, idealistic, pure, until one man turned it into a business. Eric Dalton. He was charm wrapped in arrogance, a hedge fund smile with a predator's patience. He didn't talk about freedom. He talked about scalability, liquidity, exit strategies. He talked about her dream like it was a product, and she listened. That was her first mistake. He offered her a deal that sounded simple. He'd bring the money, she'd bring the vision, and neither of them would ask too many questions about where the funds came from. For a while, it worked. Investors poured in, numbers multiplied. Headlines called her the woman who ended banks. But what Alina didn't know was that the investors weren't people. They were ghost accounts, thousands of them, feeding from the same offshore pool. Shell companies laundering millions through her own code. It wasn't fraud. It was a mirror, and she was staring at her own reflection. Then came the first crack. She found something in Novachain's backend, a hidden directory labeled Project Eve. She thought it was an experiment. It wasn't. It was a data feed. Real-time information from millions of users, names, GPS coordinates, facial scans, browsing patterns. She thought she'd built a system for digital independence. Instead, she'd built a tool for digital slavery. And the worst part, the buyers weren't startups or private firms. They were governments. When she confronted Eric, he didn't deny it. He just smiled and said, "Do you have any idea what you're worth right now? You built the world's first voluntary surveillance network, and they're all begging to be part of it." That night, Alina stopped being the visionary. She became the liability. She started copying files, tracing transactions, building her own secret ledger of evidence. She planned to leak everything, blow the whistle, and burn it all down. But someone was already one step ahead. The more she copied, the more the files disappeared. Entire directories wiped mid-transfer. Her access revoked, one by one. She thought she was digging into a conspiracy. But in truth, the system was erasing her as she worked. Then the messages started coming, encrypted texts from unknown sources. "Stop digging. Freedom isn't yours to sell." And the last one, "We own you now." She transferred her personal crypto into hidden wallets. Nearly $8 million scattered across anonymous chains. She thought she was escaping. But Eric had built Novachain's architecture. He'd built her too. Every wallet she touched got traced. Every IP blocked. Every connection monitored. Freedom, it turned out, dies quietly, usually with a login error. Then, a final transaction. A single message attached to it. There's a way out. But it's not clean. The sender was untraceable, just a string of random letters. But the IP led to the same place as Project Eve. And when she followed that trail, she found the truth that broke her. She hadn't just sold people's data, she'd sold their identities. Every biometric key, every voice pattern, every retinal scan that verified Novachain's decentralized freedom was owned by a single hidden entity. And among those stored signatures was hers. Her own digital DNA was locked in the system she built. She was a prisoner of her own code. The last text she received said only, "The only way out is to delete yourself." And that's exactly what she started to do. She deleted her presence from every exchange, every platform, every registry. Bit by bit, she erased herself from existence physically, digitally, financially, a human vanishing act. And as the blockchain kept spinning endlessly, logging every deletion as a permanent record. Alina Voss became the first person to digitally die by her own invention. They say digital death isn't possible, but Alina Voss made it look effortless. For weeks, she dismantled her identity piece by piece. Passport databases, utility records, old backups on forgotten servers. Every trace of her code rewritten into randomness. Every signature replaced with zeros. She called it the clean exit protocol. And if it worked, she'd be free, truly untraceable, truly gone. But freedom, like all currencies, comes with a price. Because the system she was escaping was still alive, and it wanted her back. When Eric realized what she was doing, he didn't go to the police, he went to the markets. He launched a campaign. Alina Voss has been compromised. Novachain is under threat. He played the victim, and investors believed him. Billions poured back in. The network grew. The same architecture that enslaved millions now had a martyr. And Alina's erasure became the best marketing Novachain ever had. But she wasn't gone, not yet. Somewhere deep in the dark web, buried inside an encrypted cluster, she left one fragment of herself behind. A message, one file, hidden under layers of corrupted metadata. It was a simple video, 42 seconds long, no face. Just her voice, flat, controlled, unforgiving. You wanted a world without governments. You got one without accountability. You wanted freedom from control. You built control that doesn't need freedom. And I am your proof that you can't own your own data. Once it starts owning you, the video spread silently. One upload turned into thousands. The blockchain mirrored it endlessly. Every copy authenticated, every deletion logged. Novachain couldn't erase her. Every attempt only created more versions. The message became a virus, and the virus became a prophecy. That was when Eric vanished. No announcement, no obituary, no arrest, just a wallet emptied to zero, the same way hers had been. They found his access logs months later. Multiple failed attempts to access the clean exit protocol. He'd tried to use her code, but her system wasn't built to free him. It was built to trap whoever tried. And in that moment, the hunter became another ledger entry, permanently locked, eternally traceable. His death wasn't an escape. It was a record. Meanwhile, Alina's name resurfaced, but not as a person, as a pattern, hidden among crypto exchanges and neural data feeds. Every system carried fragments of her original code. Novachain evolved around it like a scar around a wound. Users began noticing strange anomalies, wallets that moved without transactions, phantom signatures on inactive accounts, whispers of a ghost algorithm that punished corruption by erasing it. They called it the Red Ledger, and when they traced its origin, every path led to her. But Alina Voss wasn't real anymore. She existed only in hash strings, compressed audio waves, broken packets of consciousness drifting between anonymous servers. Some said she'd merged herself with her creation, uploaded her mind into the same chain she once tried to destroy. Others believed she was alive, somewhere in Eastern Europe, hiding under a new name, trading her freedom for silence. The truth didn't matter anymore, because what she built and what she became couldn't be separated. Novachain was no longer a company. It was a living organism. And somewhere deep in its architecture, her code still whispered. It didn't speak of profit or freedom or disruption. It spoke of guilt, of debt that no transaction could erase. And every now and then, when a user tried to bypass the chain or hide an illicit transfer, the system would crash for exactly 42 seconds, then restart with a single message on screen. Freedom has been sold. Payment received. Nobody knew where the message came from. No one could trace it. But those who saw it said the words weren't typed, they were spoken. In her voice, because in the end, she didn't disappear into the dark web, she became it.